Hi, Shavuot Tov, everyone. Good evening. Just wanted to share some of the reaction within regards to what happened on Thursday night, the atrocities that happened after the Tel Aviv Ajax match in Amsterdam, where it didn't take the BBC obviously long to try and reframe the actual events that actually occurred in of itself. But just reading the Jewish news, just came out to Shabbat, so just tuned into the news after Havdalah over here, where it actually reports over what Jewish London that actually ended up even hospitalized after saving an Israeli in Amsterdam. I think his name was Aaron, actually, and a very interesting article here in the Jewish newspaper in of itself. 33, I'll quote the article. I think the author of the article was Michelle Rosenberg, if I'm not mistaken. She said, a 33-year-old Jewish man has revealed how he was violently attacked and hospitalized after stepping in to stop a gang assault on an Israeli man in Amsterdam on Thursday evening. We all know, by and large, it was the headlines of the international media and international news on Thursday night and early Friday morning. So that is at least something that they've highlighted it. But a lot of action just has to be taken to prevent this happening again. I quote the article. The incident followed, obviously, the Europa League match between Maccabi Tel Aviv and AFC Ajax, during which Maccabi fans were targeted by thugs, obviously shouting pro-Palestinian slogans. The father of two from Hendon recounted the harrowing ordeal to the newspaper in of itself, the Jewish News. We left the game early to meet a friend. As we walked towards the bar area, chaos broke out. Mopeds appeared from alleyways and a crowd surrounded an Israeli man, describing the horrific scene. The man was on the ground and his head was pinned between, let's say, a curb and the metal gate, and he was viciously kicked. Terrible, terrible scenes. I think I saw a short clip on Twitter yesterday afternoon before Shabbat. It just brings terrible, absolutely terrible. Aaron and his friend Jacob intervened, managing to push the attackers away and help the victim. We thought it was over, he said, but moments later the gang returned and confronted them, asking, "Are you Yehudi?" Obviously, someone Jewish, if anyone is not aware. "Are you Jewish?" And Jacob, a father of three from Golders Green, said the thugs asked to see their passports to check whether they were Jewish. That's a drastic. They went to such disgraceful methods to actually see if someone's Jewish or not by looking at the passport. This disgraceful. Despite denying they were Israeli and pleading to be left alone, obviously it's horrifying. The gang continued their intimidation, grabbing Aaron's friend's coat before the situation escalated further. Now, I remember when I was in Liverpool University, I remember one night being attacked. I was riding a bicycle and 4 people came from behind and smashed my head and stole the bicycle. I remember it very well. Don't think it was necessarily anti-Semitic in of itself because I wasn't wearing a kippah at that point in time. We're talking about 20 years ago. I'll continue the article before I quote the CST and itself. I told him to leave him alone, and next thing I know, he punched me in the face. It was so unexpected. My glasses were broken, my nose split. There was blood everywhere. After he punched me, about 20 more came out of their hiding places to effectively finish me off, he said. But I stood my ground. I said, what you're doing is why you're not getting any support. When the leader of the gang said he's British, leave him alone, another responded, yes, but he helped a Jew. That's a disgrace. It just shows what makes it even worse over here is that people that help Jewish people, they even get attacked. That, says Aaron, is why they were angry, because I helped someone Jewish. He said that the police turned up around after 45 minutes. Before the game, there was a massive police presence. They were taking it seriously. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think the Amsterdam police were aware, if I'm not mistaken, not 100% sure, that something like this could actually occur. But after the game, I think they were scared. I saw this poor dad with this kid running towards a hotel. They probably got him. They weren't looking for Israelis. They were looking for Jewish people. They knew what they were doing. It wasn't random. Oh, let's get an Israeli. It was organized. It was. We want Jews. We want, unfortunately, I don't want to state the words of it. We want Jewish blood. This is what the article in Jewish News is saying. Aaron, who had emergency stitches at a local hospital, told the Jewish News, "I'm glad I stepped in to help that man. I was glad they didn't get me any further. I felt very bad for the Israelis. One of the guys then came out to apologize, saying, 'Sorry, we thought you were Zionists.'" It's just how crazy it actually is. Jacob adds that after the apology, one of the gang said, "The streets are full of Zionists." And I don't want to quote this article anymore. We thought it just shows how bad the thing is. And everyone, this actually, the Jewish News has actually quoted. I won't quote more of the article in itself, but the CST actually left a stronger message with regards to the CST is disgusted by the violence directed at Maccabi Tel Aviv fans in Amsterdam last night, and we want to express our support and solidarity for the Dutch Jewish community. We are closely monitoring the situation, are in contact with the police and government, and as yet we have not seen any similar violence being planned here, referring to England. CST works closely with Kick It Out and Maccabi GB Great Britain to raise awareness about anti-Semitism in relation to football in this country and to ensure that any incidents of anti-Jewish racism in football are dealt with firmly and effectively. Obviously, they're stating that everyone should report to the CST directly if there's an incident. Now, I have my wife's cousin also lives in a village near Amsterdam. I think he helped out tremendously on the specific night. Also, he's not necessarily a football fan, but he did help out on that specific night. So he actually contacted my wife's family on the WhatsApp group and actually expressed the horrors also that took place. The Chief Rabbi, Sir Ephraim Mervis, actually says, utterly devastating scenes from the Netherlands. Hateful mobs have chased down Jewish and Israeli football fans on the streets of Amsterdam after a match, violently beating them and proudly posting the footage on social media. A bit like October the 7th over there in that aspect. Obviously, it wasn't as many casualties, obviously, anywhere near as many casualties. Many are injured and 3 people are currently missing. This was quoted, I don't know if that's still the case at the time of recording this. This should be a watershed moment for Europe and for the world, when it realizes how severe the scourge of anti-Jewish hatred has become. Sadly, I fear it will not be, and that tragically this will not be the last such attack, God forbid. That's what Sir Chief Rabbi Sir Ephraim Mervis has said inside the Jewish News. It was quoted. I don't know if that was from his Twitter feed or not, but enough is enough now. We're talking about enough is enough during the Corbyn time period, during all these different time periods, but with all these, the biased reporting, incorrect reporting that's been taking place, especially since October the 7th. This was unfortunately, we don't want to say predicted, but this, it's a horror in itself. I think I said it was about just over a year ago when I think the FA didn't refuse to light up Wembley Stadium. I said at that point in time, if they don't show this action of solidarity with Israel at that point in time, what a message it's sending over here. Now, I'd like to see what the FA and the UEFA and all the other football governing bodies also will do after this incident has taken place. They should show unequivocal solidarity with Israel and obviously the Jewish community over here, and with the Tel Aviv football club also. And we have to highlight this, we have to mention this, we have to scream this to make sure these atrocities are not going to happen again. So Shavua Tov, obviously it's not a video one wants to make, but we have to highlight it, because we don't mention it, we don't talk about it, then and keep rallying this message away. This is not going to get any highlighted, just say news coverage, say a week down the line, and God forbid we don't want something like this to happen again. So I hope everyone is safe, hope everyone's returned safely to Israel, and this will not occur again, and anyone injured will make a quick recovery, and all the perpetrators will be caught and given the full force of law. So Shabbat Tov, wishing you all a good night, and let's just see blessings all over the world.